I'm so honored to introduce the National Chief, a gentleman that I was honored to be able to work with for a few years back. And once again, like I said, immediately when I found out our community was coming down here, I got on the ringer and asked National Chief for his support, and he immediately sent a letter out here. And for the past few weeks, we've been texting back and forth. I've been giving him updates, and he's been telling me that as soon as he's out here, he was coming down to show his support. He came into town just a day ago, if I'm right, and he made sure that he came down here to show that the AFN, the over 600 nations that he represents, also shows their support. And I want to introduce my very dear friend, Shawn A-in-chut Atleo, the National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations, and I welcome you to say a few words to the Musqueam people.
Asnaʔəm, Hapwea, Isua, AFN, Musqueam, Shawn A-in-chut. I want to thank my friend Wade, and I got to congratulate you, Musqueam, for raising up brilliant leaders, young leaders that are stepping in, learning from their elders, taking their rightful place. You can see that he comes from good teachings, strong family, and amongst the Musqueam we see the young people carrying themselves this way. My language acknowledging the elders who are here, those that I've spoken to, affirming that they're here every single day, they said. Every single day, us young people, we can learn. We can learn from watching, from listening, from the inspiration that the elders are providing. That you will win this because of the elders leading the way. Young people are stepping in. I was really thankful for Wade to share this, that you were here together. As the regional chief has said, the feelings that we got, that we have when we hear the story, and to now be here in this very place, thinking about what it must have been in that moment, and how it makes us feel. In any of our cultures, as it is with mine, when it comes to a loved one passing away, the elders will remind us, who? Be careful. Be careful. Life is precious. Life is precious. We have to be very aware of our surroundings at all times. And so it is that this story, as the Grand Chief is saying, is a story of the Musqueam. It's a story of your ancestors. But as you can see, it's a story of those who are now living here in their territory. It's non-First Nations people that are standing here with you. Even the Vancouver Renters Union is standing here with you. The story that we've all inherited, one of walking separate paths with those who come to settle in our lands. Of not understanding who we are. This is also the story that's emerging here in this site. So I'm very thankful to be here with the Regional Chief and with the Grand Chief. When I first sat down with the Grand Chief in 2004, I said, Grand Chief, what's the advice you have for me? I'm new to this work, Regional Chief. He says, he might as well have said, well, son, I got two pieces of advice for you. He says, one, 80% of the job is showing up. And that's what you're doing here, young and old alike. 80% of the job is you're here. Woo! Young people, old people. The second piece of advice is equally important. When you're heading out to the protest site to blockade, when you're standing up for your rights, when you're taking the effort, make sure you go pee before you go. And I'll always remember that advice. Don't you forget it. I wanted to pass it along. Maybe he didn't quite tell the story like that. That's important advice. Go to the bathroom before you go out on the site. So I see you brought one with you. And that's how smart the Musqueam people are. They brought one with you. So when I first arrived here, my friend Mike was where I knew he would be. He's here with you. And the Stalo are with you. All the nations are here with you. But when I arrived, he was singing a song, and he says that we will win. The Grand Chief has said, we will win. Well, my late grandmother would say that you can have what you say. If you say that you're going to be victorious, if you say that you will win, if you say that we can have new laws that respect our people, if you say that you want to have a beautiful park that will be a memorial so that future generations will know that when it was your time to stand up, that you stood up. My late granny would say, you can have what you say. If you say you're going to win, then you can win. If you say you're going to be victorious, you can have what you say, and you will be victorious. And I believe that as well in my heart, that we can have what we say. Return to a place of peace and harmony. Have the spirits of the ancestors respected and supported. Learn more about one another and have a future. Have a future together. A mutual respect, mutual understanding, and most importantly, of care and of love for one another. Thank you for the great privilege to be amongst you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your determination, for your resilience, you Musqueam people. We will stand with you until you achieve this great vision of yours. Let go, Haitga.
On behalf of the Musqueam people, once again, we want to thank each of you and everybody that comes down to support us. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one person in particular. One person that's not from Musqueam. And I want everybody here to know the determination that our friend Noel Abrahams across the street, not from our community, but has been here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, has not left the site, except yesterday when he came to my house for a bath. So once again, Regional Chief, Grand Chief, and National Chief Haitga, we thank you for your support. Now, each of us is so very honored with your presence. Haitga,